Welcome back to DETV News. I'm Nick Alessandrini. We finally wrapped up our football season and crowned our inaugural 1A, 2A, and 3A champions. We will start with a recap of our first matchup of Championship Saturday, number 1 Archmere versus number 2 Woodbridge. Archmere looking for their first title since 1982, and Woodbridge eyeing that title in Coach Marvin Dooley's first year with the program. Both teams were undefeated, and the Auks would open up the scoring early. A huge game on the ground for Archmere, and it started with Declan Pearson. Pearson gets the carry here and finds the end zone from 5 yards out. Auks go on top 7-0. Then a few plays after a Mike Malamachi blocked punt, the Auks would strike again with a Declan Pearson 3-yard run. Auks extend the lead 13-0. Into the second half we go, but Woodbridge still looking for their first points. The Blue Raiders were able to get inside the Archmere 10 twice in the third quarter, but the Auks would come up with consecutive fourth down stands. Then late in the third quarter, do-it-all offensive weapon Johnny Kim takes the handoff on the misdirection and goes 81 yards to the house to help seal the deal for Archmere, and the Auks get their first state title since 1982 with a 27-0 shutout win over Woodbridge in the 2A championship. Chris Albero and Declan Pearson both had a few touchdowns on the ground in that one. Congrats to Archmere. On to Class 3A we go. The biggest matchup at Delaware Stadium on Saturday, number 1 Smyrna and number 2 Middletown. A rematch of the Harvest Bowl from earlier in the year, a game in which Middletown won 28-14, and most have been waiting for this round 2 all season long, and let me tell you, it was worth the wait. Smyrna going to open up the game offensively with a flea flicker. Cameron Edge able to find Devin DeMoe for 46 yards. Shortly after, Wayne Knight would punch it in from the 1. Smyrna on top 6-0. Middletown would answer. On fourth down, the South Carolina signee Braden Davis going to escape the pressure and scramble for a 14-yard touchdown to get the Cavs' first points of the game. Extra point good. Middletown on top 7-6. But back and forth we would go. Next drive for Smyrna, Ymir Knight takes the direct snap from the Earthquake and goes 50 yards to the end zone. Smyrna takes a 14-7 lead. Next drive for the Cavaliers, they put a nice 66-yard drive together, capped off by a Mikey Pearson 4-yard score. Middletown ties it up 14-14. We go to late in the fourth. Middletown driving to take the lead with 4 minutes to go. Braden Davis and company facing a 4th and goal from the Smyrna 3-yard line. Davis has to escape. More pressure, finds his man Zach Caldwell wide open in the end zone for the go-ahead touchdown, and that would be the deciding play of the game. The Cavalier defense was able to hold Smyrna on the last drive as the Eagles run out of time, and head coach Zach Blum and Middletown take home their first championship since 2012 with a 28-22 win over Smyrna. Then our nightcap championship here for Championship Saturday. That's number 1 Laurel making the trip up north to the University of Delaware. They met number 2 St. Elizabeth's. Both teams here in Class 1A had not surrendered a point so far during their playoff runs. The Vikings, though, would change that early as quarterback Brett Smick finds Chris Character for the first points of the night on a 26-yard touchdown. St. E's goes up 8-0 early. Later in the first, Laurel's Javier White will take the handoff 5 yards into the end zone. White goes, capping a 56-yard touchdown drive for the Laurel offense. 8-6, St. E's still on top. Then with only 38 seconds before the half, Smick would try and force one across the middle, and Amarion Cannon would pick it off for Laurel. Then one play later, Javier White again, this time a 28-yard touchdown run. Big swing for Laurel, who carries a 14-8 lead into the locker room. Then in the third, after a muff snap on the punt, Laurel's Carlos Wilson punches it in from the 3-yard line, a 21-8 lead now for Laurel. Then a little bit later in the fourth, more Wilson. This time he gets in from 8 yards out, and Laurel seals their first championship since 1991 and the 4th in school history with a 28-14 win over St. E's. The University of Delaware has announced the hiring of their head new football coach after dismissing Danny Rocco back in late November. Ryan Carty, the former Blue Hen backup quarterback, who was also a member of the last championship team at Delaware back in 2003, was introduced at the university on Monday. Carty comes over from Sam Houston State, where he served as the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach under former Delaware head coach Casey Keeler. Carty helped Sam Houston State win the 2021 FCS Spring Championship and will look to bring that success to Delaware. Carty had this to say on Monday.
As sincerely as I can say it, I am so excited, humbled, thankful to be blessed with an opportunity to come back home.